Hello, everybody. I'll do this right. Okay. All right, let's record this just right, like so. Looking at vitamins here, supplements I take. Guess I just take those anyway. Where are they? Little mess there. Things are a mess. Life is a mess. My life has been, somewhat distorted. Meaning things are not organized in the right order. I don't have things organized right, like a hierarchy. Take, for instance, we have in biology, we have the cell, it's the smallest unit. Then we have a tissue, it's a larger unit. And then we have a group of tissues that is an organ. And then we have a group of organs that is a organ system. And then we have a group of organ systems that is an organism, like a human being, like myself. Then take, for instance, we have a group of human beings like myself that is society or community. It's like what I'm talking about here is like going back to school. Talking about sociology. When you get to have the group of human beings, you have a group of people, you have a community, you have that, okay? So, allergies again. Little allergies just come and go. I live in Michigan. So it's like that. I'm a very healthy guy. I figure we're becoming more like China all the time. And, it's like that. But I'm thinking, whatever, guys, allergies, it just kind of bugs me a little. Like an itch on my face. Citrus, well, maybe it's allergies. I don't know. So, what I have to talk about today is, let's talk about how things work, how things are organized. Like if you have a hierarchy, I'll say it again, a cell, a group of cells is a tissue. Well, let's get down to the very bottom before the cell. Let's say we have a group of electrons, protons, one neutron, is it? And then we have a group of those electrons and that are also known as atoms. So we have all these atoms, like energy, electrical energies. They have electrons, protons, one neutron. Do we have that? We have atoms. And then these atoms, when they get together, they form a cell. And then the cell forms a group of cells called tissue. And then these tissues are made up of cells connected one to the other, like connective tissue, like bones, like muscles, like blood cells, like organs, whatever. All these group of cells connected to other cells make up tissues. Then we have all this group of tissues working together. Let's say it's like, take for instance the knowledge of osmosis, the knowledge of diffusion, knowledge of those kind of subjects, and phagocytosis, pinocytosis. We have when water goes in the cell, it hydrates it, then water comes out of the cell. What is it like? So let's say I have cells, and when I put food in my body, I put liquid, I put water, I put things into my body. We have that, and then it's like my cells. If I have a good white blood cell count, they eat up the bad cells, the bad things, whatever goes into my body. Uh, excuse me. So any pathogens, whatever, are overcome by the white cell blood count. Um, Now, if we have that, we have that. Um, so my cells are good cells. I'm believing I'm a healthy person, mostly healthy. I mean, I'll tell you what, all of us these days are like, I'll fix my shirt. All of us these days really are battling like allergies sometimes, maybe COVID-19. We've had it. A lot of people have had COVID-19 these days. We're like living in China. Okay, so I might as well say this is like China. I've got my tea, looking at it, put 2 green tea bags in it. Paul Newman was a great guy. I buy Paul Newman's tea from Meyer in Michigan. Just buy it, and you know, he's got some good stuff that he made. That's his legacy. Paul Newman donates to charities. He's a good man. He's not around now, but that's one thing I remember about Paul Newman. Uh, I mean, I don't want to sock myself necessarily, but I mean, because I don't, not that I should sock myself, but um, he makes this kind of spaghetti sauce called socceroni, and we have that at the store. Um, I buy socceroni. That's what my family likes. I guess what it is. It's got all these different vegetables, spices, and whatever in it. It's called socceroni. Paul Newman's jar of pasta sauce. I personally prefer to make my own pasta sauce from scratch. I like to just buy the tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes in cans. Um, Buy some chunky tomatoes and maybe tomato paste, sauce, whatever, basil, this and that. I like I prefer to make my own sauce. Um, I don't like to necessarily buy the jars really. I like to make all my own sauce, Alfredo sauce. Um, I'm like a culinary arts fanatic, and I like that stuff a lot. Um, so let's go back to what I was talking about. Your white blood cells are, if they're phago cells, then that means they're going to eat up all the bad bacteria, bad stuff, and then I'll eventually out of those cells we're going to have excretion, and when it excretes out of the because we have the cell membrane, and then it goes in and out of the cell membrane, um, somehow it leaves the cells. The bad stuff leaves the cells, and you got to take care of your cells. You got to take care of your body. That's what I've been trying to do. That's what I'm still trying to do. Um, so when you have a life that's quality life, good life, you are productive. You are a good guy. You do the right things. You know what's healthy. You know what's good. You know what makes sense. Now, if you don't know what to do, you don't know these things, you're not taught these things, you don't learn these things on your own, um, you're going to have a problem, obviously. And so, me, if I've had any problems in my past, well, maybe I didn't know about something. Like maybe I didn't know what is right, what is wrong. Because what goes in your body comes out of your body. And um, I'm wondering actually why my stomach doesn't go down very easily. Um, that's something I'm thought I remember something more about something more in my past, but something really more that I'm trying to wonder is like how much slower did my metabolism get when I started taking like psychotropic medicine. I was a teenager. Um, I really think honestly that I'm a healthy guy, but it's like I don't know why this something's happened to myself really. I can do the fight choreography of Shamu and that. I'm thinking I'm a healthy guy mostly. Um, so my hands getting tired on that side. So I'm healthy mostly. I might be showing some signs of aging, like in my eyes and that, my face. I'm trying to get my copyrights for Shenmue, my copyrights for the martial arts I do, and that's because I earned that respect with the degree I had going back 27 years of my past. I'm trying to get those reinstated. My to be like the new degree made again because I know I earned this respect. This respect is what I'm saying, not disrespect. This respect. This respect in this regard. In this regard, I've earned this kind of respect, honor, honor for what I've done, the fight choreography for Shenmue. So basically, what I'm saying is I rendered service to Japan. I rendered service to the country, the great nation of Japan. Uh, and so I rendered the service. My instructors, they had cameras. I remember, I recall, they video recorded all my moves. And I don't know, maybe they're recording somebody else at the time, or just for the glory of the Federation. But I can recall and remember they had these camera guys coming in, big old bulky cameras. Maybe it had something to do with me, to why I felt as if I was being recorded in martial arts history. Now, maybe this is where it's going. This conversation, you know, I can't control what people do. So when you have a group of humans, maybe they could be my own family, maybe they could be friends in a community, whatever. You have a group of people, okay? And now this background, whatever I'm coming from, tell everyone about my past and Shenmue. I did this fight choreography. I did, as we say it in more and better English, I did this fight choreography for Shenmue. So what I'm claiming is I did the Hazuki style. I'm the founder of the Hazuki style because I paid money to learn Subak-do, and Subak-do has become my style. So if that's my style, Subak-do, then I combined it with my own moves. Then we created Shenmue, is what I'm trying to say. uh, Mostly, well, I think I've done all the moves, even the jabs to the, punching, kicking targets, whatever, century kicking targets. I remember doing that in 95. I remember doing these moves in century kicking targets, the square targets that they hold. I remember doing like moves that are like Kyokushin karate moves, and my instructors just told me to do it. I did it. They know I could do it. There's cameras sometimes in class. I remember going to this separate room in the Region 5 part of the school or whatever. I just did these moves. Like, they're like fancy high kicks, and they're downward axe kicks, angled kicks, geometrical kicks. They're Kyokushin karate kicks. Now, I have a 3-kick combo with progression with a tornado kick at the end. That's also considered, also known as the Shenmue. Well, not the Shenmue one, but it's a Kyokushin karate tornado kick, and that's Japanese, and it's also known as the Taekwondo tornado kick. I do that at the end where after I kick 2 times, I chamber my leg, then I do a Kyokushin karate kick, tornado kick, or it's also known as Taekwondo karate kick. I did it. I need to get paid for what I've done. I need to get compensated. See what really is going to happen with this. I'm working with lawyers. Yes. So basically, I'm working with the right people. I'm thinking, hopefully I'm working with the right people. But that's all I can really do because I am like a poor guy right now. I'm a poor guy at this time in my life. I'm poor. I don't have nothing, but I'm trying to get the litigating law firms to correctly to be on my side and to work and to get what I should be owed. As you can see, I'm kind of like a guy that I'm around I'm living, I'm alive, but I'm not living the life that I should be living. I'm not living a good quality life. And considering the fact of my contribution to the game industry, I need to be fully accredited and given what I've earned. Um, Now, maybe one day I'll start my own video game company and I'll make games myself because I already did this before when I was younger. I know, in fact, there's the fact that my age is going up, but my age could be going down still if I get my training the right way. You're as young as you live. Let me say this: you're as young as you live. If I live like an old man, I'm gonna keep getting older. Now, if I don't get my copyrights, all my paid rights for the moves I've done, that means money. And, if I don't get that degree reinstated, I wish I would have translated that degree long ago. Um, it's a big, big problem I got. Now, I'm thinking like it meant that I didn't have to work when I was younger for whatever reason. And there's some reasons, they're just common reasons, but like when people in my class or our federation, they get presented a degree, and this is the problem. I only got presented a one rank up, a white belt degree. I was still a white belt within my degree, but see, that's the problem with this. I did so much fancy moves and stuff that were from other styles that I didn't even know I did it. I did this Muay Thai dragon spin, known as carbo kick. I did that many times in class, and I did this mud spider move from Shenmue. I did that a few times. I did, you know, different moves. They had me do different moves in that, but that's because the instructors knew I was so talented and gifted. So they just asked me to do it. I did it like nothing. Like Nike. I'm wearing Nikes here. Look, just do it. That's what I did. Just did my talent. Just did the Shenmue Fight Choreography for the whole world. I did it for Shenmue, for Japan. Um, Now, I'm wanting to get known for what I've done, so that's why I'm posting this online, and that like it's funny that I know I want to talk about the other day. So I had this incident. I worked at Domino's Pizza, uh, or corporate Domino's. There's a corporate Domino's Pizza that I work for, in my community nearby, another city, but it's like my community kind of. So yeah, I went out to deliver these pizzas to somebody's home, like an apartment complex going down a road, and then there's people that are like imposing to me to not deliver there, um, looking like feeling like maybe I'm not safe, and I'm not gonna say how bad it could have gotten, but I don't know what I did or didn't do. If I've done something to offend people in my community or not, um, I'm not wanting to. I'm not mean to. But one thing I had was I had a police flashlight. Okay, I had a police, like a 50 flashlight. Somebody gave it to me to use for delivering food in my community, and like just delivering food, because at nighttime you cannot legibly read the addresses, like on apartments numbers, house numbers. I can't see what it says, so I have to have a bright flashlight, and all I had was a police flashlight. I'm using that day, and there's people of that apartment complex thinking, maybe they're thinking like I'm a cop and I'm going to arrest somebody, but that's not the case. Maybe that's all it was. I'm calmed down, not freaking out about that, but what kind of bothered me the next day was thinking about that, and then I started to talk about something that I remember that happened years ago. I believe like I can remember this stuff but I didn't even want to get involved in anything going on in front of my house. I don't want to get involved because it's problems. I don't need problems. I don't need. Nobody needs more problems, right? Uh, I mean, I heard some things going on, and that seen some sirens, police lights, whatever, ambulance lights in the wall. There's like a wall in my room, and seen it. I looked at the wall, seen it. Just laid there, covered my ears sometimes because I didn't want to hear it. Um, I actually was not very. I wasn't training martial arts for a lot of years at the time. Going back, the last time I trained martial arts was in 2006 with a ninjutsu instructor. Uh, I didn't even go back to my Subakdo class and training. Now, maybe what happened with this incident, and I don't know what happened, but people do. Let me say this: martial artists, they do fight with each other. Us martial artists, whoever we are, we're from different federations, different martial arts styles. Um, You've got, like, I was talking about in the video about judo people. I was talking about ninjutsu people. I was talking about karate people. We're all martial artists. If we do study this, we all do it. Um, it's not that we're bad people. It's not that we're evil, but it's that we do this. We follow codes. We follow a set group of rules that is like our principle, and we just don't dishonor that. Um, Me, I've always aspired to be more of a martial artist, but I've only got one little degree as a white belt, and that's why I'm uh, different in the in the martial arts world. I'm very different, but this is the thing about me. I have this history of being this Jin Kazama, this history of being Ryu Hazuki. Uh, they also, I want to claim too. They also, I notice, I believe that Sega was inspired by my moves, because there's some of these moves that Kazuma Kiryu does. Maybe I'm thinking maybe they were perhaps they were inspired by my moves, because there's this Kyokushin karate move where Kazuma Kiryu jumps on the ground, he lands on his back, but he ends up kicking with the like the heel. Take for instance my wrist, the heel, like the heel of the foot, and so he goes down, and then he's laying down, and then he gets up. That's a Kyokushin karate move. I have to show you it again. Um, Explained it in another video. There's some Kyokushin karate move. I just did it. I was attempting to do a flip at the time. Um, and really, maybe I was attempting to do some other Kyokushin karate move. Uh, yeah, was it Rolling Thunder? Was it some other move? Well, I ended up doing a different Kyokushin karate move that was not Rolling Thunder. It has another name, but I don't know what it was, and that's why I'm seeing. And they've used that in Yakuza. Kazuma Kiryu does it. I'm noticing in battles against Sajima, different characters. I watched one against Sajima, Yakuza 3, and he does that move, Kazuma Kiryu. I've done it a few times in Subakdo class with a mat. Just did it a few times. Maybe it was one time, but I think it was a few times. And then we also have so Kazuma Kiryu does the roundhouse kick, the round. So first he does a roundhouse, then a spinning side kick, and he just does two of those kicks. So it's roundhouse, spinning side kick, and then he does that, lands on his back, but then he's kicking with the back heel of his foot is kicking the opponent. That's fight choreography, okay, everybody. Okay, and so that could be changed, altered, in that. But what I've done now, I've done that move, but I've also done the moves for Shenmue. Um, and I've done the moves for Yakuza. Now, there's some other moves, probably I'm thinking, yeah, then maybe they include, yeah, okay, right. There is Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0. I've done the fight choreography. There's this one, okay, so when he's fighting this guy, there's this guy, he's all speaking in Japanese in that, but I can remember doing the fight choreography for Cosmic Kiryu. There's this one setting. What is it now? I think it's some kind of a rage setting or something where Cosmic Kiryu goes into this. It's like a fast mode. It's like a real fast mode. He. It's punch, punch, then it's upper punch. So it's right punch, left punch, upper punch, and then it's lower. Okay, so it's lower. My knee popped a little. It's lower left kick. Um, I remember doing that in Hapkido class multiple times, many times. In my community, they had cameras. Okay, so they had cameras in the Hapkido school, and they're watching all the time. I know my instructor's seen this. Okay, I know somebody, my instructor, and other people in the class. There's students I train with that are police officers that I've, I know they're police officers in my community or whatever. They came here one time, whatever, but it was like not a very welcoming time, but I don't want to get into that, but well, whatever. So yeah, there's cops that I know in rear view, or there's cops that I know. Uh, Most of them are in rear view, and I don't know why they're coming around here, but they work in rear view, and probably what it is, I'm guessing actually, because of maybe some problems in my background that I can't help. Things happening, with my family, I can't help. But this is the thing about this. I explained this to one of the officers one time that I trained with this officer guy, and he lives in another state now. Well, he was my karate instructor, okay? And then I got this. Then there's another guy that was claiming something that I did that it's not a very friendly thing that these cops in my background really. I'm wearing blue, but I'm not a blue blood technically. And that's what I'm getting at. These cops in my background are not really on my side because they don't know me, and that's another problem. These cops are. There's this cop I had his court hearing, and he's claiming that well, I'm not even going to say what it is because it's so terrible. But this is because of my background is, this is going to be, I'm just going to say, this is probably going to turn into a litigation court hearing one day. If it does, and I can clearly explain what went wrong in my life, but here's the problem, okay? That martial arts is my talent. That's my fight choreography. And this is where everybody cannot always look good. But they can look good, kind of, those guys, because I'm from here. Those cops, I'm thinking they can look good, but it's because of me. It's all because of me. This guy right here is the face of Ryu Hazuki, the only one in the world. Even though I'm living a stressful life the way I live, I'm living a not a good quality life. The only girl I dated became a cop too later, and I got all these police in my background. They're like, my one first instructor asked me if I had that degree a few years ago. I told him that I did have it. So what I did, I told him I did have it, but that's because I didn't want to say I didn't. I was so happy to talk to this guy after 25 years or 24 years it's been. I was so happy and thrilled to talk to this guy. This is what I'm really thinking, everybody. There's people in my family that know about things in my life. They know all about me, but everybody's not saying nothing to me. I've been completely played for a total fool. I don't want to make anybody look bad, but just what I'm saying, if the police are watching this video on YouTube, just give me my copyrights. Give me all the rights that I should have. If this community of Rear View or other communities around me, surrounding me, has some remuneration rights for Shenmue, I would like you guys to keep that, and I would like the government to remake more remuneration rights for me for the services that I rendered from my karate federation of the Subakdo Federation. I'm a member of that federation, but that degree needs to be remade. There needs to be copyrights. The government, whoever's got to do it. If it hasn't happened already, it has got to happen. I've done these moves. I have to make a living. I have to eat. I have to sleep. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to pee at night. I have to do things like this. I have to make a living, everybody. I have to have a good life. I've earned my respect. And I don't think that, I should be denied any of these things. Now, here's another problem. I'm not raised to be this kind of person. I'm raised some way that I don't even understand. Talked about this Bible and all that stuff, but hey, I'm not raised the right way. According to my standards, I don't want to say these things really, but it came out, and I'm not raised the way I would raise my own kids. If I had kids, I would raise them to be martial arts people, and I'd teach them to have respect. I teach them a lot of things, but I'm not raised that way. I'm raised with people that don't even care about me, really. And it's not really like that always, but I'm raised to be, I'm raised to feel like I'm not special, is basically what I'm saying. I'm raised to think that I'm not special, that my other family members are all just as special as I am, and they're more special than me, and I'm nobody. That's the way I'm really raised, that my other cousins are better than me, and that maybe they've gotten with the ex-girlfriend I've dated, and they're better than me for that. And my family members, they're all better than me because they've gotten with my ex-girlfriend, the only one I ever had. Oh, they're better than me for that. That's how I'm raised. They're all better than me for that. The men feel like they're better than me in my community. Police officers, you're all better than me for getting with my ex-girlfriend, and you're all better than me just for that. Well, just for that, you probably want to take away my rights back. You want to give it, take it, give it, take it, give it, take it. Here's the problem, all you officers and people around here, Riverview, wherever the hell you're from, no offense, but I've earned my respect with my karate instructor, and he might be an officer in another state, and I've definitely earned that, and I know the fire inside me has displayed such an incredible talent for Shenmue. That fight choreography I talk about, I'm so dead serious here. There's going to have to be a court hearing if you guys don't give me what's owed to me, and I have a lot of greed for what I've done. A lot of money should be given into my account. I shouldn't have to worry that I'm being, doing something that's not right or whatever. I'm not going to say nothing. But you guys, somebody, if you police are watching me, you owe me a whole shitload of money because that Shenmue is something I did. I did the fight choreography. And if there's any litigating lawyers that are backing you up and committing more crime and fraud, that's saying that it's someone else that did the fight choreography, they're wrong because that's fraud. Someone else did not do the fight choreography for Shenmue. That's my trademark right. I did this, and my instructor, you know me. I don't have to say her name all the time. My first instructor, Raymond, whatever. That's my trademark right to do that. I've done this fight choreography for Shenmue. That's my trademark right, and that's my copyright. I need to be given all these things to me now. You told me, you said, if you ever need this, you give it back to me. Well, here's what happened. I met that deputy, the police officer. I think that's what she is a deputy. Nobody told me nothing, you guys. You guys didn't say a word to me. She didn't tell me who she was. Now, I don't hate anybody, one person. In fact, I still care about that person so much. I love that person very, very much. But that person lives her own life, and so do I. And I don't want anybody taking my money too much now. Okay, this is what I'm saying. If anybody has remuneration rights for Shenmue or Tekken, keep it. But the government or some entity out there, maybe it's going to come from a foreign land. Maybe the sultans of Saudi Arabia or something's going to have to pay my way because I am very greedy for what I've done. Now, the oil industry is involved, maybe. I don't know what's involved, but hey, I've done something very incredible. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry, everybody. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry for what I've done. Now, if America can't afford to pay me billions of dollars, yes. If they can afford to pay me high billions of dollars for what I've done, somebody else should step in because I'm well known in the Muslim community, and I want to say that what I've done should qualify me for billions of dollars, okay? Now, I'm not the most greedy guy ever, but I feel like my whole life has been taken and stripped from me. My whole life has been stripped from me, taken from me. And when I say strip, it's like the other day I took my clothes off. Well, for a video, I didn't look sexy there, did I? I didn't look like I used to look in the bathrooms, changing room, whatever, at Lincoln Park Region 5. I didn't look as sexy like I used to. Did I look like Jean Claude Van Damme at the time? No, I didn't. Okay, no. So that's what I'm getting at. If I don't look like Jean Claude Van Damme when I'm getting dressed, uh, I'm missing that. I'm missing my talent. That's actually the way I used to look when I would get dressed. I looked like Jean Claude Van Damme's gleats. I looked like Jean Claude Van Damme's legs, his hamstrings, his quads, his calves, his biceps, his abs. I looked literally like Kazuma Kiryu in the video game too, and that's not a lie. I didn't take any pictures because I was a humble person. I didn't take any photographs because I was a spiritual guy reading the Bible, page by page, reading it, not making fun, not making fun. But that Bible, reading that, call it also known as the Torah, because in Islam they call it the Torah. Okay, we know that. Now, this is what I'm getting at. I was a spiritual human being at the time, and I think I deserve all kind of accreditation, money, something, at least something has to be given more to me, because if I'm only getting like millions of dollars for what I've done, that's probably not going to be good enough. Um, and I know it's going to be something for people really hard to accept, that I'm going to be somebody in Michigan, Detroit. It's going to be hard that people would like, that guy's nobody, I'm better. Here's the thing. I've earned a lot of respect that year. And I'm not just somebody that should be disregarded, or maybe killed by the police coming here shooting me, and there's a criminal mischief happening in my house. There's like fighting, arguing, whatever. Why should I get shot? Why should I get arrested and tased by the police? Is that all my life is worth? Is nothing? And then we all celebrate, have a party about that. Ryan's dead. Ryan's dead. He's nobody. We're better. Because what? Is that right? Is that right? Ask yourself. People around here down the river, is it right that the police would come here and arrest me, take me to jail, take me to the hospital, keep me there for 6 months, 1 year? Because that's what they're threatening to happen to me. Is that, see, I think I have a legitimate lawsuit here, okay, against whoever I gotta sue. If I really have to sue somebody, I guess I have to do it, because this is what I'm getting at. I don't want to sue somebody, but I'm gonna have to get the money from some other country, some other person. Maybe maybe some big shot, the rich guys are gonna have to pay me something. Take for instance, Elon Musk is very wealthy, and they're talking about going to Mars. They're talking about going to Mars now. They all want to go to Mars. Wow. Well, it's electric now. It's becoming electric. He's from South Africa. He's a good man, I imagine. But this is where it's going. If I can't get what I'm owed, I think I'm owed a lot of money and respect for what I did for Shenmue. Now, here's what I'm saying. I inspired the world for Shenmue. I inspired military personnel. I inspired police officers to do their job better. With that fight choreography, that's an amazing fight choreography. Wouldn't you agree? Because that fight choreography is the fire in my soul, in my mind, in my heart, that I've put in. I've combined it with my karate desires to be a martial artist. Now, there's no way someone can tell me that I'm not the fight choreographer of Shenmue. I guess because, and not I guess, but this is the thing. I remember these people in Region 5, Lincoln Park, Subakdo. Look it up on Google phone. Look up Soobahkdo. Okay? Look up Subakdo. Lincoln, like Abraham Lincoln. LINCOLN. Lincoln Park, P-A-R-K, Lincoln Park, Subak-do. You're going to find an old building, and I hope they don't ever knock it down, Lincoln Park. I have a lot of respect for Lincoln Park. I want to make note of that. I have a lot of respect for Lincoln Park and a lot of respect for Michigan and everything it's ever represented. But all these times, the police coming here and misunderstanding a situation, well, my parents never knew me. My own parents don't know how the talent I have for martial arts. They don't understand martial arts at all. My parents, it's all about everything else with them. And they're not bad people, but they don't understand martial arts. And I have to say, actually, my whole family doesn't understand martial arts. My dad's family, they don't give me credit for what I've done. My mother's family don't care. It's all about them. It's all about my dad's family, my mom's family. It's all about everybody else. And I did nothing. Now, if I don't claim what I've done with that degree, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? Everybody sees me. There's Ryu Hazuki. There's Jin Kazama. Well, I've already talked about that, and that's because I've done the fight choreography for these guys. Now, as you know, uh, um, that's what I'm stating is all factual and real, and these are facts to me. These are not even theories, okay? Because I know I call these things like correlations. I'm a theoretical blogger about these things. This really needs to be talked about. I am calling these theories because I'm not perfectly accurate with every single correlation that I'm strongly believing is related to me and refers to copyrights, refers to trademark rights, refers to rights. And this is a litigation process that has to take place because to claim these things. And here's the problem. Uh, I told this guy from a Perkins Coie law firm, and that he's saying, you need $5 million to represent your claims, Ryan. If you want to go up against these gaming industries and get claims and money or something, he says you need $5 million to represent you, for me to represent you in court, and you got to pay me $1,200 an hour. This guy's in New York State, New York City, New York, and Perkins Coie is a very world-renowned law firm. Okay, now here's what I'm saying. This guy doesn't help people if you're in the state of Michigan. I've always been in Michigan. Now, this fight choreography came from Lincoln Park, Subak-do, Region 5. See, they can't really, it's hard. The law is actually, this is what I'm saying. They can't really represent me if I'm in Michigan according to the laws that are current. Okay? So if I have to go outside the law, maybe let's say I bend the law in some ways to benefit me, well, this is what's going on here. I've been given a degree with copyrights, trademark rights, all kind of rights, and I believe also I've been given the rights to the Shenmue Hazuki residence in Kanagawa, Japan. Now, this is where it's wrong here, okay? It's messed up as hell. I I'm thinking, the only way they're going to do this, the lawyers and stuff, they have to get together, make a team in that, and they have to represent me the right way or whatnot or something. Maybe it has to be done outside of court, not going to be on TV. Just settle this outside of court some way. I don't want to have worries, my God, I like that song. I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no worries. Like Lil Wayne? I'm a fan of Lil Wayne. And, my brother is too. We like Lil Wayne. So this is what I'm getting at. This has been going on for so many years. Nobody has the guts or the balls to really talk about this, but I do. I'm coming to you and to your home. If I'm on your television set, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you the truth, the best I can. Everybody, Shenmue fans, you've been loyal for so many years. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shenmue fans around the world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for liking Shenmue. Thank you for supporting Shenmue. Thank you for giving money, contributing to Shenmue. Thank you. Thank you for all your support, Shenmue fans around the world. And I wish the ones that may be dead and gone now would have been able to see my YouTube videos. You guys would have been able to see me, who I am. I'm the guy that is the fight choreographer of Ryuzuki and Jinkazama, and there's more claims. There's more claims, but the biggest problem, you guys, why um, I don't realize that I had all these things is that it was on a piece of paper, a degree from our Subakdo Federation that's headquartered in Korea, um, the one that fought the wars in that for, in history, there were wars. The Korean War, well, this is the one federation that, they taught Tong Sudo. They taught, all these military arts. Then actually they switched to Tong Sudo when I trained because, I'm thinking what it was. Myself, I'm them instructor didn't want to tell me they had to keep up with Ryan Salazar because he's too gifted, too good at karate. He's way too good for us. We don't know what we're gonna do with this guy. He's way too good. He's really way out of, he's like beyond past his time. He's beyond his time is what I'm saying. He's beyond his time, and I'm a young kid, and I look like I'm some kind of a ninja warrior coming in there and doing all these things. Um, People just didn't understand me at the time, and in fact, I dated some girl, and her brother was in that class, and this is what I'm believing that happened. She didn't understand my talent, and neither did her brother, and they were like problems, I'm thinking, because of this history I have in Lincoln Park Subakdo. I remember sparring against her and her brother. I tried very hard to hold my talent back as my instructor told me to do. You know who you are. And I remember this, my friend, brother, um, through the people we know. I remember that you wanted me to hold back against these students because they're your friends, and you told me that's important to you. Don't don't let that talent show too much because you know it's gonna be it's just it can't be handled maybe by the students, and they don't. And I know you didn't know what to do with other students that have the same likes and interests as me for martial arts and that. And I know how naturally gifted I am, sir. But this is the thing about me. Um, I have to hold back, and I have to hold back with that. And the reason I held back as much as I could, um, well, and that's changing the subject, I imagine. But let's go back. I tried to hold back as much as I could, and I still couldn't hold back enough, sir. So this is what's going on. I remember those days. I remember sparring against you, and there's a correlation that you actually, if you read between the lines, Guizan versus Ryozuki, um, the time where when Guizang fights Ryozuki, they have the gamers have Guizang, uh, Ryozuki catches his leg, and he says, "What, by a kick like that?" And then Guizang says, "You call it a kick?" He kicks over his head. I actually did that. That's the correlation Shimu guys, Shimu franchise is not going to tell you. Yu Suzuki, if you're hearing me, sir, I strongly believe I remember this 27 years ago. Read between the lines, okay? I remember when Guizan, uh, okay, what happened? I was sparring against my Joseon Nem instructor. This is a Korean martial art, people around the world. Uh, so I started sparring against them. And it's like what this is. This is recalling the fight Ryozuki has against Guizang in the harbor, the Yokosuka scene, and he's waiting for Guizang to come out of work. He comes out of work. He picks a fight with Guizang because Terry wanted him to beat up Guizang. After he rescues Nozomi that one time, he rescues her, takes her back. Then there's a 70-man battle because he goes to pick a fight with Guizang as Terry instructed because he's trying to get the land D. Now, this is where it's going and getting better and getting thrilling. So Ryozuki fights Guizang, does those moves, and the opposition really attacker. Well, Guizang. Okay, so what it is, Guizang doesn't kick his side, but I'm kicking his side, and I'm actually what it is. I actually was imposing to my instructor. Was bold enough one time to spar against him to kind of give him a challenge because I Really, what it was, sir, is because the other students at the time were not challenging enough for me. They were not good enough for me. They were not my equal. They were not equally matched like me and you. That's what I felt kills on them. And so I just didn't know. So I thought I'd challenge you one day in class and see if you can compete with my talent, sir. And if you can compete with my talent, um, this is the kind of response I got from another instructor. He was challenging me, challenging my talent. After class, he would challenge my talent, although it was non-contact, kind of a challenge. He would challenge me. Um, I don't know. I haven't heard much about him now. I don't know. I'm not going to say nothing, but there's I think there were other instructors that no, there were no other instructors. I know the other two. You guys are best friends. I seen you guys you jumping in the air and that. I remember those old school days of my instructors, like my current Saban Nim. I remember how good he was. He could touch his elbows to the floor without bending his knees, both elbows. Put them behind his head and touch his elbows to the ground without bending his knees at all. Both instructors, these two guys, could do that. Uh, when you train your kids as a child, they can do these things, perhaps they can do it later in life. And that's where this goes, train your kids to do martial arts. They'll become phenomenal people, men, women, whatever it is. But you got to really train them when they're young. And it should be in karate, I'm thinking. Um, that's why I like the way of Subak Do. Because kids like to do karate more. If you notice, they like this karate because it looks cool. It makes the kids feel special to do karate, does it not? And then if you teach them too much ninjutsu, well, they like wrestling too. I know kids do. They're all competitive, but there's a little bit of a slight difference. And I'm thinking, yes, you should teach your kids martial arts because, uh, it's not the safest world we live in these days, and only the strong survive. In fact, they should really teach martial arts in school districts. Okay. I have always said that a few times. They need to teach martial arts in school districts. They need to teach it to kids. And if they don't, kids are going to have problems because art is not the most important subject. Uh, just basic art. It's not going to solve nothing really. It's just for peace of mind, I guess. And gym class is not going to solve anything. It's like they have to teach martial arts in school. They should. And if they don't, you're all going to have problems. I know people want to make money off this. This should be a government funded thing. Government insisted that children learn karate. They need to be like mandated if they want to. If they want to, they need to do this, train karate, train the martial arts, whatever. Kids should do this. It should be like Japan, okay? They should have it more like Japan, but, you know, or Korea. But this is the problem. This is America. We've been stuck in the past, the 50s and that, whatever. People maybe, I'm not saying American people can be racist or nothing. I'm not saying they're racist, but I'm saying we have to accept cultures around the world. We have to be leaders in the world. We have to not ever be prejudiced against any nationality, be jealous of skin tone or eye color or hell, hair or whatever, height, status. That's all forms of discrimination. Okay, everybody. Now, you're watching this, people in America. You have to understand. You have to be spiritual to do martial arts, and soldiers are kids. You have to be spiritual people. You can't make fun of people. You can't say you're better and I'm better than you. That's not spiritual. That's what gets people killed. That's what gets murders done. That's what gets crime done. I'm better than you. No, you're better than me. And you make a big deal about it, or that's discrimination. Discrimination kills people too. I have you know. And if you don't know that, there's something wrong with whoever you are. Discrimination can kill people. There's a lot of things in life that if you don't realize what you're doing, you're making fun of somebody, you're gonna get them killed, you're gonna get someone's gonna get hurt, murdered, whatever. There's crime in Detroit. I've noticed how things happen, how people just discriminate against somebody. Maybe it's a girl, maybe it's a guy. But guess what? Some of those people, they're not around anymore. They're gone. They're dead. Because why? discrimination. And believe me, it's real. It's so real. And if you guys, people, legal authorities, Michigan, Wayne County, all Wayne County has to change. You need to become Detroit, become human one day. I'm thinking really, probably this Ford, history and that it's great, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they need to just transition eventually into electric cars, whatever it takes, move on to the future. Um, that's all energy. And you know what? Here's the thing. We're doing business with, the Arabian countries and that. I'm thinking, is that the only place we're getting the oil from? Well, I haven't been watching news enough. I know we've got some in Texas. I know we've got some in Alaska. But I believe that we're mainly doing business with the Arabian countries. Um, that's maybe fine. Uh, Probably, I'm thinking eventually it's got to transition into, electric cars, electric vehicles, and that because that's a much more cleaner, sustainable energy form. Um, and I guess really we could be going on and on with this energy, this oil in the ground, but one day this oil's going to be gone, and we have to find a way. The right revolution may have to happen. That may mean war. I don't know what it's going to come to, because if the Arabian countries are selling us all this oil, well, we're not going to be buying that from their countries if they stop doing business with us or we stop doing business with them. Now, I'm not trying to start a war in the world, or nothing, but this is like it's like a dilemma or something. Maybe like we don't know what's going to happen in the world if we accept oil from Arabia and we don't tap into our own. We, they have their own life in Arabia and that they have their own culture and way. Uh, so really, it's like they got their money anyway. They've got a lot of gold. They got a lot of diamonds, jewelry. They're very wealthy in Arabia. They got like trillions of dollars. I imagine some sultans, and they're very wealthy people. Now, America, what are we like? How much further ahead are we? We're not that much ahead because this is why I've talked about Torah, the Bible, and that, and there's a lot going on in the world because this is what I'm saying here. I think prophecy in all religions is real, and this is what needs to be told. People just need to be real about things and don't be like arrogant. Arrogant is bad, and this is like I know I'm getting like I'm preaching or something here. I mean, I may be raised a different way, but this is the whole thing I'm talking about here. Um, it's just change is inevitable. It's gonna happen one day. There's gonna be change. If it has to be, ugly or it has to be beautiful, ugly. Not everything in life is pretty or handsome. Uh, Change can be very real and pretty ugly, pretty blunt. It can be, but it has to be. There has to be some change in the world, maybe in our country too. And guess what? If we're not accepting, this is my theme here. I just want my talent accepted for what I've done for Shenmue because I've inspired, I'll say it again, military personnel. I've inspired military police. I've inspired all those figures in the military. I know that I'm Ryo Hazuki in my past, and I know that I've done this, and I think I might have a good chance of doing this again. Who knows, maybe for movies. But I've got to be living a good life. I've got to have a lot of money. I've got to have what I need in life, and that's going to take just giving it to me through litigation of lawyers, whatever it means. Because if I don't have what I need to live my life, well, I'm the fight choreographer for Shenmue. This is a $47 million to a $70 million project. And if this is the bias claims of Wikipedia, maybe it's worth more than $47 million. The $70 million, I'm thinking it's actually worth more. This game was more, that it wasn't even $47 million. You see, this is the Wikipedia claim. And it's like, it's angled at such a way that it's biased. Now, if it's biased, It's just the majority of what people are saying doesn't necessarily mean it's true. There's an angle, and don't fall for the angle. Always, don't always fall for the angle. No. Don't always fall for the geometrical angle. That's that the fake line, false line. Read between the lines. Yes, right. You know, just doing these little smiles and stuff, trying to look good for the camera. Um, it's okay. So this is Retro Rizuki 81, and my message. The theme of my message is change, or what is it? The theme of my message is within reason, Shenmue, discussion within reason. Maybe that would be it. Something along those kind of context words.